Hi, this is Lori from the Weekend Handy Woman, and today we're going to be talking about battery operated lawnmowers. And this one here we have a Greenworks. It's a 20-inch twin blade lawnmower. It runs off of two 40-volt batteries here. And with me today I have John Young with the Weekend Handyman, and he has been reviewing the cordless lawnmowers with me also. So John, what's your view on the Greenworks?
Well, this particular unit, this is the TwinForce. It's the G-Max. So it is using two blades. They're offset here, but they're two 10-inch blades to give us our 20-inch cut. Now, this is one of the lawnmowers. I've used it a variety of different times with thick grass. You saw it after we went out and we mowed some grass that was about 4 inches tall. Mm-hmm. It was really, really tall. And I finished with that, and I was so disappointed. I wanted to have, I love the look. It's just kind of a cool thing. It almost looks kind of sci-fi. And we went out with it, and it's like, after I was done, I didn't like, because this is a cordless mower, and cordless mowers are really designed for taking off about an inch of grass and leaving 2 inches of grass. So you're wanting to cut about half of the total amount off at most. In that particular case, we had 4 to 6 inches of grass, and we were cutting 3 inches off, somewhere in that ballpark. So what it was doing actually, and we can't do too much to show you this, but in the front here, it was kind of laying the grass over a little bit more. And then when it came in with the blades, it wasn't getting it straightened out enough, because with the two smaller blades, it just doesn't have that suction to lift the grass up and to cut it, because it was really all laid over. So it was really just kind of a rough, uneven. It looked like about a 4-day-old cut already, right after we went through it. And
if I remember right, we can't lower the height too much on this one.
We couldn't go any lower, and at that time, because I think there's 5 different height adjustments. We were in the lowest height adjustment, and I thought, goodness, it left a good 2.5 to 3 inches of grass. I was so disappointed, thinking, it's got to go lower. That was last week. Now this week we mowed with this last night, and we mowed in a spot where we were only cutting off about an inch to an inch and a quarter of grass, and it was amazing, the difference. I mean, when you looked at that, would you have guessed that was the same mower?
No, I would not have, because the first time it was really disappointing, because it looked like there were streaks, as far as that you missed some spots. That there was little spots there that it looked like you either were not quite mowing far enough over, or because it was leaving like a strip of high grass.
Exactly. It just did not mow cleanly and such. And part of that is, again, we were trying to go through too much grass. We were trying to take too much off. There's just a lot of variables with that. And we were mulching. We weren't bagging it. So we really weren't doing it any favors. Mm-hmm. Last night we took off about an inch of grass. We mowed through everything, and I was surprised. It's like the machine all of a sudden could cut an inch and a quarter lower, because now the grass is about an inch and a half high. But the big thing with that is we were only cutting off about anywhere from a half inch to maybe an inch and a quarter, inch and a half. So we weren't cutting off as much. It mulched it up, and we went around the swing sets where the kids play, and you don't see grass clippings. It just mulched and cleaned everything up really, really nicely.
It did a beautiful job. We should show the viewers the twin blade. Let's just
turn this around here a little bit, and we can show
come in between
how that looks.
So it's got the twin blades down here.
And we got two 10-inch blades, and one of the things with a cordless lawnmower, and you might even see some water dripping off that, because when you're done with a cordless lawnmower, you want to take these out and spray these out. Otherwise, you get residue and things that build up. And with a mulching lawnmower, even a gas mulcher, you want to keep this clean so that the air will move properly. So we clean this up and such, and it's still dripping well after we cleaned it up. But the idea is you pull the batteries out so it's safe to clean, tip it up, spray it out, brush it out, and then you're good to go. But we've got two 10-inch blades here, and you'll notice that they're kind of offset. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that offset is that two things. You don't want these two blades to hit each other, and right now they get close, they're within a quarter inch, but they're not going to hit each other. Secondly is that way they overlap a little bit, and they'll be able to keep a nice clean cut and not have a strip of grass right down the middle. Interestingly, these two blades spin in two different directions. They will cut the grass, and they're both turning towards the middle. Just like that. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to shoot that grass through this chute right here. There's a plug-in right now, but that would shoot it out the back of the mower into the bagger. So that's how they are able to achieve that, which means that you have a dedicated right blade and you have a dedicated left blade. And if you mix them up, it doesn't work. It's not going to work, which is okay. You just be careful of which way you're going to do it and get it all lined up and such, because again, they turn. You can even see in the little arrows which way the blades turn. And you want to make sure that your cutting edge is in the direction that the little arrows show right up on top.
Now, the really cool thing is with these lawnmowers is a lot of times they have handle adjustments. So as you can see, John is taller than myself, so John would have the handle he can have it to his length versus myself. John, can you show us how the handles adjust?
Well, in this particular case, this one doesn't have as much adjustment down here. It's just a quick release handle, which will allow you to take it and fold it up. But our adjustments really happen up in here. There's 3 different holes, so you can make it go a little shorter or a little bit longer. And it's really quite easy to pop the little handle out, and you can loosen it up. It's set in nice and tight right now. But you pop that out, loosen it up, move it to a different hole, and that'll give you a little height adjustment. It's not the greatest. I would like it also to have a little bit of adjustment here, but it's something that will allow a person my height at 6 something and your height at 5.5 foot to be able to both of us use this mower.
And I noticed it's got some wing nuts on there, so when you set it to your adjustment, that it'll actually hold it in place.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, because you have this flipped open, and then you can basically loosen this or tighten it with hands. You don't need any tools. And then once you get it set, you snug it up and get this flipped, and this will secure it. And it's not going to loosen up because it's all nylon type nuts that are going to hold and hold well.
Now for starting, this one here was one that you would push the button and then pull the handle in.
What they use is generally, with cordless mowers, they're usually using 3 different components. They're using some type of a key that completes a circuit, and then they're using a button and a operator presence handle. Now on a Greenworks, they don't have the key in it. Now that key is generally a little piece of plastic that has a little piece of metal inside, and what that does is, again, completes the circuit, so you have to have that key in before you can do anything else. The Greenworks doesn't have that. It's basically up here. So we put in 1 or 2 batteries. We would push the button down and hold the operator presence handle down. While you're holding this, then you would do the handle. Once it starts, you can let go of this button and you're good to go. As soon as you let go of this operator presence handle, those blades stop instantly, which is really kind of a neat thing if you've got a younger person, if you're going to teach your middle schooler or young teen how to mow lawn. I like this way over gas because even at the fastest stopping gas blade, it's still got a little bit more to go, and the chance of them doing something silly and getting a toe run over is there more with a gas than it would be with an electric.
Mm-hmm. Now, John, you had mentioned that when you went to start it that you could use either 1 or 2 batteries. Mm-hmm. So does it run just with 1 battery, or do you need 2?
Grab the batteries right there. We just pushed those off camera. It comes with 2 batteries. So you've got a 2 amp hour battery and a 4 amp hour battery, and you can see the difference in height. Basically, one is twice the amount of capacity as the other. But what you can do is you can insert the batteries. Just slide in, and this is probably one of the easiest and most secure applications with our cordless testing of getting the battery in. Now we have a battery in, we could start it and go. Or we can put both batteries in. What's really cool with both batteries in is it'll deplete the left battery, and there's a little red LED light here that will turn on. It'll deplete that left battery. Once it's done, all of a sudden it starts to slow down that last maybe 30-40 feet of mowing. Then all of a sudden it goes, and then it switches over right on back. So you really don't even lose any cutting ability because it's that quickly. But you can put both batteries in, and off you go. Once you're cutting, I mean, if you had a runner, just like a race, at the Indianapolis 500, if you had a battery runner, you could be mowing, switches to this one, you're still mowing, they run a battery, they switch while you're still, you'd never have to stop. You could go for, okay, that's not a good idea.
But then it wouldn't be able to stop to get a water break.
You need the water break.
So John, with a Greenworks machine, what is the most compact way that you can store this mower?
Well, what's really cool about battery lawnmowers and even electric lawnmowers is that they can be stored in ways that you can't with gas and oil lawnmowers. We can take this lawnmower, we can undo the handle, and we're not going to do it here because it makes a lot of noise. Undo the handle, we can fold the handle down across the top, and then we can stand it up on end, and it will actually sit on the back end of it. So we're going to be up on end with the back 2 wheels. So it's going to take a 2 foot by 16 inch space. Really quite compact. Mm-hmm. Now this is a little bit heavier than some of the other cordless machines we've looked at. So for someone like myself, I can put it up on the table here and it's not too difficult. Someone like yourself, it's going to be a lot to be able to get this up here because this is a horse of a machine. Even though you're a strong person, you'd still struggle to get it up on the bench like that. So for those who need to put it up on a shelf, that could be a factor in if you wanted to go with this. If you're going to wheel it into the garage, fold the handle up, tip it on end, slide it against the wall, it's just a great option for giving you a lot of coverage, a machine that can do a nice job with the lawn if you're only cutting off 1.5 inches, and it looks awesome too.
That it does. Actually, I was thinking I was going to have to lift weights more so I could lift it. And actually, a lot of times people don't have space to store out the lawnmowers and different things. And when you can get those like Rubbermaid storage units that you can set outside, having something this small to be able to put in there that, again, only takes up a couple feet of that. You can get the door shut and kind of help save with the being able to store that and go from there.
It could easily go on the bottom shelf of a shelving configuration, even like what we had. If the shelf was low, you fold the handle down, you put the back wheels on the shelf, and you just tip it up. So you'd be looking at the blade side of it, which may not be so good with kids around, but it can easily store, pivot it around, and it'll store on a 2-foot deep shelf without a problem.
And for more information on the Greenworks machine, click the link below. And again, this is Lori from the Weekend Handywoman.